it always felt like my professional career was related to housing in one way, shape, or form. Sometimes a lot of my day was spent on housing issues, sometimes a small part of my day was spent on housing issues. But during that entire period of time, what we have seen in Massachusetts is that we are living through a housing crisis of one kind or another all the time. When unemployment is high, people have difficulty affording even moderate rents, and they find it very difficult, if not impossible, because they're unemployed from a credit perspective, to purchase a home. But when unemployment is low and the economy is strong, which is generally speaking, with some important exceptions, the situation we're in now, then housing prices are very high and housing rents are very high. And the principal reason for that is because we artificially constrain the supply of housing throughout eastern Massachusetts. We are so opposed to development. We are so reluctant to see dense development. We have all kinds of homes that we don't like, even if we say, well, it's okay to build housing but not rental. Or it's okay to build housing but not condos because they might be owned absentee. Or it's okay to build housing but not for kids. By the way, how many of you were kids? I'm just wondering. And most of you, I assume, went to school, right? So, we have to have kids. They're a blessing in our lives and in our society. We believe in America that they should go to school. So it's always troubling to me when folks say, well, we can have housing, but not housing with 3 bedrooms or more, because then the housing might cause kids, which is not, I think, the way kids happen. But anyway, so we always say we like housing in one way or another. And of course, we all live in homes, and we understand that situation. I make a little fun of it, but we understand the fundamental dynamics. But we often don't like the kind of housing they'd like to build down the street, or around the corner, or next to a school where our kids go, or anything like that. And the result is that we put into effect policies and practices that don't simply constrain housing production, they artificially constrain housing production against the tendencies and desires of the market. The market wants to produce more housing. My guess is there are several people in this room who like to produce more housing, and there would be people to buy and rent those homes. But we artificially keep that down. And that not only has a tremendous impact on people's lives, on their ability to obviously own and rent a home they can afford, on the other things they can afford to buy, their ability to use those dollars for other parts of the market to build it up and to create more economic activity. It not only affects the rate of homelessness in our communities, it also affects our economic well-being. If we can't attract those 1 million workers who I mentioned are going to be among the baby boomers who retire between now and 2030, if we can't attract those folks to our cities and towns to take those jobs and to take the many, many thousands of additional jobs we'd like to create, then our economy will suffer. Our economy is already suffering. Although it's strong at the moment, it is not as robust, as productive as it could be. The economy looks good. State revenues keep going down. There are reasons for that. And one of the reasons for the difficulties that we face is the lack of housing.